Ladies, gentlemen, filmmakers, moviegoers, and everybody else, whatever, what up? Hi, I'm Srekcuf5. This is Dorkydev. Hey, Dev, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just, here. Can I say something?
That depends. What do you
Even
want
attempt to find one for Slayer. I'm impressed you found a GIF.
to I found a GIF.
How long did it take you to scroll?
Actually not that long.
Really?
It was like the fourth one on there. However, it was like the
That's
only
surprising.
GIF.
Let me guess, you scrolled to see if there was anything else?
Yeah. So yeah.
Fair enough.
And it fits what my post pretty well, I think. So, yeah. Yeah. Horror. Being back in college. Ah. So, this anything interesting you want to talk about before we hop into the show?
Yes. Oh, I left it out there. Hold on. Give me a second. I got something new. Because if you guys didn't know, I finally sent out Doctor Strange is no longer in the set. So he's with Steven now.
Yeah, I can go grab him if you want me to. He's right there.
Yeah, you go grab real quick. Because
Okay,
yours
I'll
going to
grab
be
him
faster
real
than
fast.
mine. Mine's in the
It
kitchen.
should literally just be like one. Oh my god, I'm about to drop him.
Please don't. Oh, you haven't taken him out of the box yet. I'm proud of you. Oh, you're better than me.
Yeah.
So I sent that to him. So give me a second. I got
Okay.
a new one to replace him on the spot.
Oh man. It's gonna be fancy. A new thing to replace Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's funny. He bought this from me a few years ago, and then forgot that he bought it from me. Whatever. All right, it's coming in hot. What's it gonna
All
be?
right, so I saw this and there was no way I was passing up on it because it's one of those ones that you see and it's like, yeah, no, I have to get it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
The original design Vader,
I love that.
right? It's got a metallic finish to it, so he's shiny. He's got the blue lightsaber like he was, in the original
And
design.
it's a katana shape rather than a beam.
Yeah, like the design that they used for Rebels
Mm-hmm.
off the original design board. So by default, Cap has to move over. I have to move some over because the Star Wars ones are all over here. Also, it was between this, I saw this one, but the other one I saw at work was a Batman Samurai.
Oh.
Which there's a Joker one too. If they're still there by Friday, I'm picking one up. Because that one's that one, baby. But that's history to us.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually they're gonna make a larger one that's the mechs.
If they make the mech, I'm getting it. I will have to make room somewhere for it, but I will. Also, I got Miyu recently too. If you can kind of see him right there.
That's not bad.
Some Pokemans.
I think I have something cooler to show off, if I'm being honest.
Oh, is it your Switch?
It is my Switch. Fucking kidding me? Why wouldn't I show this off? A bunch of people got together and got me this. A lot of them affiliated with this channel. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I really do.
How much have you been playing it already?
So, like a responsible adult, I haven't.
Fair.
Yeah. I almost brought it with me to work today. I'm definitely bringing it to work with me tomorrow. I just have to find a safe way to travel it.
Pick up one of these.
One of them?
Okay. I got mine, which is a Breath of the Wild one. Because mine comes with, so it's got this right here. So this has a Velcro piece, which locks it in. Switch fits perfectly in there.
Okay.
And then it also has, I had the other ones right here, but
yeah,
it has cartridge holders.
Nice.
Yep. So keep those nice and safe behind it. Lock it in there. Zip up. You're good to go.
Nice. Now I know.
Yeah, most places that sell Switches should have those in hand.
I'm just gonna make a shopping.
Make sure you don't actually get a Switch Lights case because that won't fit.
Okay. I'm just gonna make an Amazon wish list and start sharing it with everybody. And hey friends, my birthday just passed. Kidding. Really kidding. All right, so let's move on. Let's actually start talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, which this week is movies made by a director called J.S. Cardone, who just happened to be someone who educated me in college. And this week, because I'm so smart, and Dev came up with a clever title before the show came up, but I didn't change it. It's JS Carnage, because there be blood and guts everywhere.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yours is better.
I will agree. Yeah, no, mine's better. It was what have we JS car done?
Yeah. That man, that myth, I wouldn't really call him a legend.
If he ever sees that,
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we're talking about movies created by this man. And we're talking about his first ever movie, The Slayer. And then we're talking about his last ever movie, Wicked Little Things. So, I mean, not much else to say. You ready to hop in and start talking about this stuff?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So let's get in here right away and start talking about our first movie of today, which is The Slayer. Oh boy, The Slayer. One thing I gotta say, the movie was pointless.
It's well shot.
Yeah, like, I do not take this, like, I did not say this harshly, but like, oh, hang on, I forgot about this. Pull down, here we go, perfect. I found the IMDb, found it. Like, the critiques that I have for this movie are not the cinematography, it's not the editing, it's the acting, it's the writing, it's the actual story and the resolution itself. I
can agree to that.
Yeah, those are the things that bug me about this. I mean, and I think 2 out of those 3 things were created by my teacher here. So, doesn't say too highly. But, like, ultimately, this was a low-budget film, which I say leans towards...
Which was released on October 1st, 1982, with a budget of unknown, because it does not have any details on the budget. We'll just say under 20 mil.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this. I think I can find it. Honestly,
I'll let you Google it this time.
Budget. Oh, my phone just pinged. Okay, so The Slayer, also known as Nightmare Island, is a 1982 American horror film. And it was made for, at the time, $750,000. So, well under $20 million. It's like, with that in mind, it's not bad, honestly.
No.
My biggest complaint is how the movie ends. If the ending was different, I would have a completely different opinion of this film. Because it does have, like, it has great music. It has good cinematography. It's, like, its story itself, like, the scares and stuff that happen are great. And one of my favorite scenes, actually, is the scene where you get to see the rake chasing a woman. It's actually the scene where my GIF comes from. It, like, I love the tension that's built up. Because all you see is, like, this rake come around the corner. And then she's like, what's that? And then it starts pointing at her and starts coming towards her. And this is before it gets funny, where they show the camera angle from the rake's perspective. And it's like, I'm coming for you. Like, that gets a little silly.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah. But
I'm going to get you. I'm going to be your best friend.
Exactly. So, yeah. It's before that happens. So that moment, I'm like, ooh, this is kind of creepy and cool. And I do like the effects that they use. It's all practically done because, that was the era. And it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. I thoroughly liked what I saw, and I enjoyed the movie. Definitely had some decent scream queens, that's for sure. So, what did you think, Dev?
I mean, so we all know I'm not the hugest fan of horror movies.
Yes.
I've never been the biggest fan of them. My problem with this one, I don't know what category it's trying to fit. In the sense of, like, if it's a slasher, if it's a thriller, if it's a
Yeah, I lean more towards like suspense thriller.
but
That inherently also isn't really horror.
yeah, I don't know what box to put this in, and maybe it doesn't need a box, which is, you don't always need a box. I get it. But I don't know what to critique it as. I don't know what angle to take it at.
Mm-hmm.
I think my problem with it is that, like, again, I agree with you on the end. The end is like, what? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
It makes like if I'm thinking about it as a story, like a writing story perspective, it makes the last hour and 15 minutes that you watch, no, hour and 20 minutes that you've watched completely meaningless. Except if you think about it like it's supposed to be maybe like a psychological thriller, it's supposed to be like, whoa, what a twist! Oh, man. Maybe you should think about it like it's an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Well, then I like it less. We know how I am about his movies.
That's a good point.
Especially after Glass.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. I think my thing about this is that, like, I don't know who it's for. I guess.
mm-hmm. I mean, you also like you have to remember this is 1982.
Yeah.
It's early on in cinema filmmaking, and let's see, other great
Is it?
Yeah. I was about to say the only other horror movies coming out in the 1980s were, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween.
There were horror movies before this, though.
Yeah, there were.
Again, I think my biggest problem is I don't know who this is for.
Day of the Dead was a good movie. Chucky.
Like, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know what the intention was. I don't know where we were going, and I genuinely don't know where we ended.
It's supposed to make you think.
About what, Steven?
About nightmares.
Then I would. There's another one that I would rather watch. I mean, not to, like, speak ill of your professor. Like, I think it's beautifully shot, like, genuinely. But the rest of it, I don't really have much to say on, because I don't know what is there.
Like, I don't entirely blame you. I really don't. Honestly, like, it's not. It's like, it's not necessarily something that would sell, honestly. It's very much a small indie film that, like, it does fine. It really is an okay movie. It's just not, it's definitely not meant for everybody. Like, the only reason we're doing this is because he's associated with me as my professor. If I had never had him as a teacher, we'd probably never watch these movies. Well,
nope.
That's actually, I'm not 100% sure on Wicked Little Things. And I'll talk a little bit more on that one when we get there. But I highly doubt we'd ever watch these movies. Like, they're not big, well-known films. They're not something that people talk about. Like, these are just movies that exist that helped. And, like, I'll be honest, a lot of the teachers that I had in college were bitter older people who kind of tried to scare students out of becoming film majors. They're like, yeah, you should go into video games because they're the most popular form of entertainment right now. And yeah, and they would mention how the film and TV industry is dying, which, in comparison to the golden age of cinema, where the studios owned actors and they can make any movie they wanted, like, of course it's not going to be the same, but
It's also better because people aren't technically owned anymore.
you're not wrong. And people can't really make as many movies as they want. There's a bunch of movies out there that could be great films, but they're not blockbuster smashes, so they're not going to be funded.
Well, they still get funded, but
Not
the
to the
studio
same degree.
funding them needs to have blockbusters to fund them.
Mm-hmm. And in those instances, most likely, you're probably just going to see it on the indie circuit in like a Sundance Film Festival, which isn't a bad thing. A lot of people see these movies every year. It's just, it's not going to make you a household name. It's not going to make you a living. Like, my professor, he wasn't even really the teacher at sometimes. Like, he was in every single class that had my actual teacher in it. They were like co-teachers. But what he wasn't like affiliated with the school at all. Kind of weird. But he was still in every class. He taught every lesson basically. Impressive.
It's a unique setup.
Yeah. He's also sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Let's say fun little side tangent. He's also the teacher that when I pitched a movie to him, he's like, if you ever write it and finish it, get in contact with me. And I've never written it because I lost interest because it was very complex for me to write alone when it was a group project originally.
That's fair. Group projects suck.
Yeah. So yeah. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add to this because I don't know what. I genuinely don't know what to say about this movie because it's just like, and again, horror movies aren't my thing, so probably not entirely directed at me. So
yeah, this movie is directed more towards. If I had to give a more generalized statement, it'd be this movie's directed towards women and women who feel like they're being followed, or women who feel as if they are being hunted. Like this, I'm going to make a generalized statement that I can't back up because I don't know history. But I'd say the 1980s were probably a scary time for ladies. And because it's a period of both independence as well as people not treating them properly. So I could see this being a very much like an attractive movie for the female audience. I mean, especially because one thing that I was really impressed by, the cinematographer in this movie was also a lady. So, or director of photography, as she's billed in this. Her name was like Karen McGillan or something like that. And I was surprised by that because I was like, 1980s female cinematographer? Why has no one ever talked about her?
I mean, because of the time.
Yeah. So, yeah. I guess, Dev, I'm going to give you your popcorn kernels here.
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
5.5? That's reasonable. I was going to give it a 5.
Fair enough. 5.5 overall.
Yeah. I'd say overall rather reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on here. We're going to our second film of the day, which is confusing for me. Well, not like confusing story-wise, but confusing for me timeline-wise in my own life. Wicked Little Things. Because the reason why that's confusing to me is because I know I've watched this movie with said teacher, J.S. Cardone, in classes as examples. He's like, do this, don't do this. Like, he's talked about things that he didn't like about this in this movie. I don't entirely remember what they were, but whatever. But then I also remember when I rented this movie, I saw that it was a Films to Die For release. And I'm pretty sure I've watched every one of the Films to Die For releases. I can't be certain because it's blending in history, like the history of that movie and like It's in my history, it's all blending together. So I'm like, did I see it for the first time in college, or did I see it before college and not realize it was the same movie?
Couldn't tell you, buddy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell me either.
Um, this movie was. I don't know. Again, so I'm gonna say this is what I said the last one. I don't know what this movie's trying to be. Like, it's got. I originally thought it was gonna be a ghost movie, but then it's not. And like the whole premise of it, I'm like, I don't believe this. I'm not invested because I thought this was gonna be a ghost movie, and like then it takes this turn into The Walking Dead, and I'm like, what? Huh?
I mean, I don't disagree with you also, because the exposition dump in the beginning of this movie is essentially we've got children miners in a mine, and a mining accident quote unquote happens where the mine collapses, killing all the children inside the mine. Probably all the people inside there too, but that's not important for the story. It's just the children that are important. And then all these years later, generations later, children are still alive and trying to kill the descendants of the person who killed them. And sure, this is all fine, except it, like, why? Like, I understand that they were wrongfully killed in a mining quote unquote accident, but like, normally in these situations, there's like, it was the blood in the mine, or well, it was on a Native American burial ground, or
Why zombies?
yeah, why is it zombies?
Ghosts would make more sense to me.
I agree with you there, but there are like zombie children who don't have eyes.
Doesn't make sense to me. My brain cannot comprehend, like, because there's no explanation why they're zombies.
Yeah.
Every time there's a zombie movie, at least there's some form of like, hey, there was an outbreak of something, or like, hey, at least they say, we don't know why the zombies are happening. We think it's maybe this, shoot them in the head. There is some reason why zombies.
Mm-hmm. There is no reason why zombie in this.
There's no reason why zombie. It's just movie has to movie, but this is one of those moments where like movie can't just movie. Movie need explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Movie can't movie. Movie need to tell Dev. Dev was sitting here the entire time being like, why zombies? As I'm watching it, I'm like, so I watched it while I was running errands today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there on my phone. I'm like, why zombies?
I mean, I don't blame you. I like, this was the first time I've done this ever before a movie. I also watched this movie on my phone, but it was because I've been at work a lot these last weeks. And this week is also the busy, like every day this week, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. Oh yeah. So like, you may not have a video on Saturday. You may or may not, we'll see. But
I know I'm not getting a video today because I didn't play Witcher, so.
Yeah. Terrible bitch.
My bad. Sorry. Listen. Listen, next time I play, I'm seriously not doing side quests. I'm just plowing through.
It's probably a good idea. Just get through the story campaign, because you seem like you're dreading that game every time. But back into the story of fucking little things. There's no reason why there's zombies. If they were ghosts, it'd make more sense. Especially too, one of the characters who happens to be a famous actress known as Chloe Grace Moretz, or whatever her last name is. This was like one of her earlier films.
Mortez.
Thank you. This doesn't make
TZ? Mortez?
Moretz? Because there's an E before the TZ? Like, do you not pronounce the E before the TZ in Mortez?
Isn't that the more?
I guess.
It's either Mortez or Moretz. Yeah, it's one of the two.
Probably more Ted. It's most likely.
I don't know. We're bad at names.
Yes, but Chloe
Why
Grace
do we do this to
Moretz,
ourselves?
her character talks to one of the zombies, even though she's not a zombie in these talks. She's like a ghost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But still, why?
I don't like ghost powers. Like I thought it would be ghost, and then it's zombie, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And like it's not like either way changes anything. Like if these were ghosts, it's still the same story.
Yes, and it would like make more sense to me. But I can't get past the whole. They're freaking zombies. Like usually a zombie movie, like I guess like leads like is like, hey, this zombies. It gets to it early enough.
Mm-hmm.
This one, like, I'm just it's like out of the blue. Like someone has a one-off line, zombies, and I'm like, wait, what? And then it's zombies. I'm like, what? What? Because also there's like visions, like ghost visions in this movie for a moment, and like stuff like that. And I'm like, but zombies? I don't know. I can't get past the zombies. Okay, I can't. For a movie that was released October 1st. Nope, that's the wrong one. Damn it. I clicked the wrong tab. The movie that was released November 17th, 2006. With a budget of $2 million, and grossing only overall 392,000. Oh no, opening week. What? Hold on, this makes no sense. Opening weekend 2 million, gross US. What? None of these stats make sense. Never mind. It said opening weekend 2 million.
Okay.
Gross US 321,000.
So it made all of its money overseas.
Gross worldwide gross 392,000.
All right.
Either someone fucked up and just hasn't gone back to fix it. Do you have Box Office Mojo still open for the other one?
I do not.
Okay.
Hendrich.
You want to do that real quick? Because that might get the stats a little bit more accurate. Because, like, looking at this, I'm like, something's not right here. Clickety clackety.
Yeah. No. Go. For some reason it takes a moment. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, wait, here we go. It says it made most of its money from group releases at the After Dark's Horror Festival. Where it made a amount of around $2,575,000. So it was part of the 8 films to die for that I was just talking about.
All right, well that makes more sense.
So yeah, it makes a part of the money off of 8 films to die for. So there you go.
All right.
So there you go. Now things make a little more sense. When it first came out, flopped. But then when it was re-released, oh yeah.
The stats still don't make sense on IMDb, but whatever. I think my big problem is zombie. Like, this movie makes no sense if you use zombies, because like the zombies seemingly have powers, and like I can't do that. I can't. If there's not an explanation why zombies have powers, then I'm going to be lost.
I mean, I don't blame you. I really don't. It was kind of interesting and confusing. be completely honest. But if you um, get past that, it's an okay film. Like, I liked a lot of the things about this movie. I mean, I thought the acting was far better than the first movie.
I can agree to that.
I liked the effects more. I mean, only because they're more modernized, but still. Um, I honestly didn't mind. Like, if I got past like that they were zombies, I kind of could enjoy myself. Like, it was good at setting tension. I felt like this was a lot more of like an atmospheric kind of just wallow in the stress that they're setting up kind of movie. And I was for it, honestly. I'd probably end up watching this again, only to be like, but why are they zombies in the middle of the viewing?
Yeah. I just like I think that also again horror is just not my thing. So like I'm gonna get hung up on those things because like it's already gonna take a little bit for my brain to like get invested into the movie because I'm not as invested in horror movies that aren't like my type of horror movies.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean I've already the movie's already at a disadvantage with me.
Yeah, you just
Um
don't like the type of movies I like. I get
it's
it.
not like that. I mean, it's just I'm particular about my horror films.
Mhm.
Um and again, they're just not for me as much. And it's not to say that like they're bad. It's just like that style of movie just isn't what I'm invested in as much. I'm more for I like if it's horror, like it's got to be more thriller based, and this one definitely isn't thriller based. It's more I'd call this like a zombie slasher.
Yeah, but it doesn't really have a lot of the slasher elements that I mean, it does and it doesn't simultaneously.
Right?
Like, there's slasher elements, but there's not enough of it for me to consider it a slasher film.
But there's not enough zombie elements for me to consider it a zombie movie.
And I agree with that too.
So that's why I'm calling it the zombie slasher. It's a hybrid.
But
Um
IMDb, it says it's a fantasy horror.
I disagree wholeheartedly on that. I saw that. It's a drama fantasy horror. I'm like, no to two of those.
I mean, there's family drama, and the family drama is the daughter's a spoiled brat. The older daughter, by the way, not the younger daughter.
She's just a teenager.
I mean, I also theoretically, I'm glad that they went into why they ended up moving to the house, because I was honestly sitting there thinking, like, you have two homes and you decided to move to this Pennsylvania house without ever looking into what it was like. All right,
I'm not looking into the deed.
yeah, all right. That's that. It happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I don't
the
know,
word I
man.
was thinking of.
What?
You remember last week when I was talking about the tax cuts that you get from making a movie in a certain
Uh-huh.
state? Called incentives.
Yeah, that's right, 100%. I know that.
And it's literally called financial incentives. That's and yeah.
Why did we not think of that word? Like that's a really easy word to remember.
I know, right?
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Like we said, for not those who
Here
can't
we
do
are.
critique. Right. So, back to critiquing this film that wasn't made by me. So, let's see. Other things I want to talk about in this movie. There's not really much else to talk about in this movie until we get into spoilers. Wow. Is there?
I don't got much.
You haven't got much else either?
Nope. I'll give you your popcorns if you want.
All right, why not? I'll take it. So, for my popcorn kernel, I'm going to give this movie a I think this one is a 6.
Just 6. Well, I'm giving it another 5.5.
It's a 6.
6.
Yeah, because ultimately I did enjoy this movie more. I felt like I was kept in the movie more, like just more attracted to watching it, even though it was weird for me. Like the zombie part was weird, but at the same time, I still enjoyed the movie, and I'll probably end up watching it again at some point.
Yeah.
All right. So, spoiler button, please.
Let's get ready to spoiler!
Yeah, your camera angle did move a little bit, by the way. I mean, I've been fixing it throughout most of the night.
Sorry, I usually sit like this, but I'm kind of turned like this today to kind of like look more at you. Are you trying to go from the corner?
I just wasn't pressing the right part.
Hello, black bar above me.
What about what?
The black bar above me.
That's the black bar of death.
I'm critiquing your box skills.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'll make it just like the beginning of the show. Here we go. Now you've got your 1080p film window perspective.
Jesus, I hate it.
Yeah, it's just like the beginning of the show.
Was that how I was at the beginning?
That's how both of us were.
Weird.
All right. I thought I was clever.
I didn't even notice, honestly.
Really not?
No.
Wow.
Because I don't look over here. I don't look at this. I look this way. Okay, honestly, and I flipped it. Usually I'm looking this way, okay? Because usually that's where I have IMDb and stuff. So I flip myself this way, so I'm looking more at you. All right? So I'm not going to notice that.
Okay, so look at the little thing. Spoilers times.
Why zombie?
Yeah, and the dumb part is we find out that it's zombies because these teenage kids roll up to the local market, which are apparently the only teenagers in all of town. At least according to this movie. And they make fun of our main character, like obnoxiously, but still, because they're the only teenagers in town, she decides to hang out with them.
The only teenagers she's met.
Yeah, and then our main character, I guess, is mom. I mean, really, all three of them are the main characters. They all have about the same amount of screen, but I'd say mom is probably the most important one. And for her, and in this movie, I would say she has no character development at all.
None of them do.
Yeah. I'd say the one who probably has the most character development would be the older sister, Sarah, I think her name was. I have to.
Yes. Her name is Sarah.
Um,
Played by Scott Taylor Compton, who, the reason why I recognized her was Laurie Strode in the Rob Zombie Halloweens.
They're comped. Oh, look at that.
So at some point, we looked through her IMDb, and this movie was on there.
Like, this movie has good actors in it for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
the I think probably my favorite character out of all these actors was probably Ben Cross's character, Aaron Hanks, Mr. Hanks.
I can agree to that.
Yeah, he was the most interesting character by far.
I can agree.
And he was also in.
Uh-huh.
But the zombie things was weird. The part that really got my attention was how it sets itself up so much to be that ghost movie, because we get to see the little girl, we get to hear the voices, which is stereotypical like ghost, poltergeist, demon, whatever thing. That's 100% how every one of those movies start.
Yes.
And then
This movie does all the ghost tropes.
yeah, and then because these dickish teenagers pull up, it's like, you're living in the hills with them zombie children? Or does he say ghost zombies or something?
No, he says zombies.
Okay.
Living up in the hills with the zombies?
I feel like there was another descriptor in there too.
Nope, there was just zombies.
Just zombies, huh?
Just zombies.
Yeah. Then we got zombies, and all the characters in the area are creepy in their own way. Like the market man, the guy who runs the market, kind of like. I mean, first scene that you get with him kind of sees a little standoffish. Like it gives mixed signals. Like he's either like I thought of three things. One, he is just like exactly how you read him, and he's like this innocent man who's just trying to help. Two, he's probably developmentally disabled in some minor way. Or three, he's a pervert. Children.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's just dropped.
Yeah. He just.
There are two plots that are dropped. Him and the other one that's dropped entirely is the school brought up and just dropped.
Yeah, when can I get to school? Whenever I feel better. And then she feels better when they all leave. They go back to whatever home they're going to. Their second home. Because they can afford it. Even though they said they couldn't. But they can afford two houses. At least for a little bit.
Well, they were going there to sell it, right? Or figure out what to do with it.
No, they were going to fix it up and then live in it.
No, I thought they were going to fix it up and sell it.
Well, maybe sell it. Then they found out it was owned by somebody else the whole time. Mr.
Because minors.
Carlton. Which is the child of Mr. Carlton of Carlton Mine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this movie's trying to do.
I think my favorite scene, honestly, is towards the end when they kill Mr. Carlton. And it's this tense standoff between the zombie children and our three characters. And, man, it's like, I liked it because it's this tense, like, you're gonna die. Wait, are you gonna die? You're gonna die. Oh, you're being showered in someone else's blood. Oh, God. Like, I like that scene. Though, however, I do remember a time thinking about this movie specifically and thinking about my education. Mr. J.S. Cardone, the teacher, he constantly would tell us, don't work with kids and don't work with pets. But then both of the movies that we've watched were with kids. This one, a shit ton of them.
The last one didn't have kids.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it did, but like, I'm not going to count that. It's one scene.
It had 2 kids in it. But, yeah.
Fine, too.
And a really
With
cute
one
kitten.
scene.
Dude, going back to the Slayer really fast. The scene with the black kitten, I was like, oh, it's so cute. And then the movie ended with the horror of the child. So yeah. And then, random side tangent. At work today, when I was setting up at the school I was setting up at, when I pulled up to the school and parked at the driveway, there was a pure black cat sitting in the pavement, just meow.
Wait, I was genuinely confused. What was the cat part again? Because my brain like blanked it.
The story with the cat and the Slayer is she was apparently having dreams of something killing the cat, and then they found the cat in the deep freezer, apparently having been in there for 2 days. And then from the brother's perspective, he said that he started getting aggressive towards the cat, and then suddenly it kind of just disappeared. And then they found it in the freezer. And then she went to see doctors and things and whatnot to fix her and what. And her dreams are always predicting horrors and stuff, like someone's death or whatnot. And in her dreams, the cat was attacking her. And then in real life, the cat started attacking her. So, then when we jump back to the past memory tidbit or the flashback when she wakes up from her nightmare, she's given the same cat, which I assume is the one that they're talking about her killing in the freezer, having nightmares about.
Okay.
Psychological, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was the Slayer spoilers, BT dubs. Look at little things. Yeah. Family moves from wherever to this place in Pennsylvania. Then they meet all the strange neighbors. And then ghosts start happening. And then a teenager shows up, and then they become zombies. And zombie children start happening. And then our main child of Chloe ends up disappearing. That sets in the whole rest of the film, where mom and daughter try to find Chloe and end up running into zombies time and time again, only to find out if they just left them alone, they would have been fine to begin with. At least for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, there's weird caveats. Like, these zombies don't really have rules. They do and they don't. Like, if you have blood of one of the relatives, that one relative will protect you from all the others, even though all the others still want to kill you. And then, don't have any blood, you might die. Unless their actual target, Mr. Carlton's there. Then they'll just kill Mr. Carlton and go on with their merry lives. Which don't end after they kill Mr. Carlton. They're still zombies, they're still alive. And apparently now all the zombie children live in their old homes. Now that Mr. Carlton's dead and the miners deed back to the people.
I just... What if someone goes up there?
Socialism! It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding.
What if they go back up? What if someone goes randomly up there? The zombie's still gonna be hostile?
I don't think so, based on how the movie ended. Though, it did make me think of an interesting situation. Like, could you imagine just like, yeah, this old rundown house here, it's been here for 20, 30 years. Like, the owners own it, they just choose not to live here. Don't know why. Let's go see what's in there. And you open the door and it's just zombies. Sounds terrifying. Probably close the door and then pray for the best. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else on this one. You got anything else you want to talk about? I did like the music. There, now I've got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, the music's alright. I don't know, man. Why zombies is where I'm stuck at, and I can't get past.
Yeah, whenever you hit a roadblock, that's where you always stop. Like, freaking Indiana Jones. Why did he punch her? 2 hours later. But why did he punch her?
Listen, man, when my brain's like, but that doesn't make sense. It's the roadblock. My brain gets stuck. I'm like, I don't know what to do. What to do with this? What to do with this?
Okay. Yeah. I guess you'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Okay. So, news time? All wrong.
Can I start?
Sure.
Oh, damn it. I actually just exited out as soon as I clicked it. I went to change tabs and I actually exited. So some more Snyder news.
Oh, I saw that post. Yes. Yes.
I put it in the hard Discord, by the way.
I can't get into this.
This is why you need to pop it out.
I still wouldn't be able to get it. No.
Yeah, you would. If you pop out, if you pop the window.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just don't wanna.
All right, fair enough. I have access to Discord while not at the same time. Okay. Multiple people have reported this. I'm using IGNs real quick. Zack Snyder originally wanted to call Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice something a little bit more poetic, like Son of Sun and Night of Night.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
Why did we ever give this man the wheel to DC?
It's almost like calling a Harley Quinn movie Birds of Prey and the Mantless Possibility of one Harley Quinn.
No, you messed it up. It's Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's correct. So it's almost like naming a movie that.
I mean, I still love that title because it's just silly.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent silly movie.
It's gonna draw your attention, okay?
Mhm.
Because of its silliness. That title says nothing. Sorry, this title says nothing about what the movie actually is.
Yeah, like there's a lot of talk when it comes to reboots and stuff like that, where you make a movie based off of a character and then don't use the character's name. Like for instance, when they redid Chucky and named it Child's Play, a lot of people thought that was a terrible idea because sure they made a Child's Play movie a long time ago, but a lot of people recognize that with the character Chucky. So why not just call the movie Chucky?
And like Man of Steel is one of those weird ones where like Man of Steel kind of makes sense, but at the same time,
it
like
makes sense if you've read comic books.
It also makes sense for the adaptation that Zach went with, which was more I am a god living amongst men, instead of what would have made more sense, which is that he's a man from Kansas,
I
who
mean,
just so happens to be a god, like with powers. Because that's more of a better story to tell with a Superman story. But you know, I've gone over this enough times,
could
so
it be
we'll
Man
continue.
of Steel because he's emotionless and gray?
That's what I was getting at. He's just this.
Still, 8 out of 10. Best DC movie.
Our list says otherwise. For some reason, it is. Oh no, it makes sense. It's Shazam is the best DC movie so far. Why? God, I hate that Shazam's the top of that list because like it is average.
It's average at best.
And personally, I would still have Aquaman above Man of Steel, but you fought for that one, so.
I mean, I enjoy watching Aquaman too.
I know, but you for some reason like Man of Steel more.
Better written movie.
I disagree.
I know you. But
I don't know, man. Like, why? Why this? Why that kind of title? Like,
because it's poetic.
I know it's not.
I thought you were going to talk about the other tweet that was earlier today.
The trailer tweet?
Yeah, the trailer tweet. There was a new trailer that was dropped.
Oh, it's so good. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings had a trailer drop today. And boy howdy, is it a fucking trailer. Because it's Simu, I think that's how you say his name. Liu?
Yes?
Simu Liu. He is playing Shang-Chi in this movie, and dude, I cannot wait. You need pause the trailer so you don't see the rest of it, okay?
No worries.
You need to watch this trailer though, because it doesn't reveal the plot.
He says you.
Yeah, it says me. I mean, it's gonna reveal the plot as like a trailer does, in the sense of like, obviously this movie's about like kung fu fighting and all that fucking awesomeness. This is Marvel doing from the trailer. This is Marvel doing a wire kung fu movie. Okay.
I've been wanting in recent years to rewatch a lot of the old like kung fu comedy movies. Like they don't even have to be like the ridiculous ones, but like I still enjoy like Jackie Chan movies because they're kung fu and they're comedy simultaneously. We might honestly do a Rush Hour week just because.
I'd be down.
So, yeah,
No, I'm me.
and he's you. No, isn't that 3?
Yeah, I think.
I'm me.
But this trailer does one of my favorite things a trailer does, by the way.
What's that?
Which is syncing shit to the beat. All right?
Okay.
Of the song that's playing in it.
What is the
Because
song
there's
that's
some
playing?
great. The what?
What is the song that's playing?
I haven't even looked it up yet. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
It's one of those things that I haven't. You know, it takes me. I usually watch the trailer enough times first.
I'm gonna look through comments here to see if anyone names the song.
I've tried. It's
Okay.
not really there yet. I'll look it up in a bit. Okay. All right. You know, I'll look it up now. Fuck it.
Shang-Chi.
Song in Shang-Chi trailer. There we go.
There's a bunch of these. What's the song?
Yeah.
From BuzzFeed, from Looper, from a bunch of different websites.
Song by Jackson Wang.
New song by Jackson Wang.
Oh, I'll go to Spotify real quick.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the song is.
Yeah.
Weird. Like I'm scrolling through an article here, and they're like, "Here's all the exposition and backstory behind who Shang-Chi is."
Oh, why this isn't quite an official confirmation? Okay. So the song included is immediately become the topic of conversation on a large part due to the fact that it hasn't been released in an official capacity.
Okay.
The studio separated. For example, fans report attempting to identify the song from Shazam, but bearing no results, like through Shazam the app. Others, however, recognize the voice from a few vocal lines, including the trailer, and believe that it likely belongs to Hong Kong-based rapper Jackson Wang. While it's not quite an official confirmation that the song is indeed by Wang, the official Instagram account for the record label 88 Rising, which has released prior work by Wang, shared the trailer and tagged Wang's account in their post. Given the working relationship between 88 Rising and Wang, it is unlikely that they would attach his name to the trailer without knowing his involvement. For certain. This is the first time Wang was linked to the Shang-Chi in 2019. Marvel announced that he would be cast as a Chinese actor in a certain role of Shang-Chi. It was among the number of names fans in China hoped would play the hero. Oh, Wang's good. Okay. So it's probably by him, but his music that's not yet released.
Yeah,
I want this on my mix, though. It's a good fucking trailer songs end up in my mix very often. Okay, and this
to
is
get the
one
hype
of them.
up, man.
They do, man. And this
then-
is one of them. This is 100% one of those hype ones.
I might listen. They'll probably end up releasing the official song and like the official trailer probably about a month before the movie comes out.
Probably, but still, it's a pristine trailer, and I can't wait. So,
Right.
it's like Marvel saw that we were getting a Mortal Kombat movie and went, we can do better. Not in the sense of like brutality, but in the sense of like over the topness, I guess.
Speaking of
'Cause
reality,
that releases this week.
does it? Yes,
Yes.
it does. It releases. It released 3 days ago.
No, released the 23rd.
Oh, I thought it was the 16th.
They moved the date.
A week later,
week.
of course.
Yeah, a week later.
God, fucking I hate this
Hey.
modern age of cinema. Movie's coming out. No, it isn't. Movie came out. No, it didn't. God fucking damn it.
Give it time, Steven. Give it time.
See, aren't you glad we didn't plan it for this week?
We would have just flipped.
Still grumble.
I would have told you like a week because I found out like a few weeks ago that it is getting pushed back. So I would have had plenty of time to be like, all right, we're flipping, by the way.
You also told me just a few weeks ago that you're like, did we forget this movie existed?
We did forget that. We didn't forget that it existed. We forgot when it was being released, okay? But this month was your month anyway, so like it wasn't going to be done this month. So, you know. I mean, I'm just looking forward to it, and that'll be fun to add to our Marvel list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious where that and Black Widow are going to end up on our list.
We'll have to see for sure. I mean, we got time. Are we gonna throw on TV shows too?
At some point, I feel like we have to.
I don't think like as an overarching list, TV shows would have to be like a whole season or series.
Yes, it would have to be it as a whole, not as it's separate. Like, we can't do every episode and rank them on there because that would be silly. It's as like WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier would have to be as they are like in their entirety.
Mm-hmm. If we were to review WandaVision, we would probably have different opinions. Because I really enjoyed the beginning and thought the end was generic Marvel.
I liked the entire thing. I loved the beginning and I like the end.
Mm-hmm. The end was okay. It was okay. But to me it was like generic Marvel and I was like, I guess this is what we paid for.
Listen, it's got to get back to it eventually.
God damn it. I know it does. Just wait. We've got one more episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, I can't wait. Like, it's not a spoiler because we don't know, but I can't wait to see what's in the case.
What do you think of our new villain that's popped up? Villainess, I should say.
Apparently she was supposed to be in Black Widow.
Ooh.
So we were supposed to be introduced to her already. So.
Oh. So that would change things for sure.
I'm not going to spoil who it is, but after the show, I'll explain who she is to you.
Like, I think I know. I don't know what she's done. I know her name. Like, I know of her. I just don't know all
like,
her deeds.
do you know her side name from the comics?
Like her nickname?
Kinda, yeah. Her alias in the comics.
Give him the C.
No.
Okay. Probably not then.
Okay. Again, it'll be real quick. I can explain it real quick.
I guess we could talk about something that doesn't matter.
Any other news?
Some things, random things. There's talks about the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel getting new directors, and by directors,
and that
I mean
one of
the
one of the people that's apparently been the like stick in the mud for all of the Spider-Man movies is not attached as much to this one.
What? Yeah. So the three directors that they ended up grabbing for this movie are Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson. They'll be working to make the sequel. That's interesting to me because, you know, more directors, usually when there's multiple directors, it's because one's an actor-director and the other's just like a director-director helping the actor-director. And, but this is all animation. So there's going to be like director of animation, director.
Oh, I was thinking of the news with Spider-Man Far From Home. Sorry.
No. Sorry. I didn't know there was news from Far From Home.
One of the people that like attached that, I'd have to look it up. I can't remember his name. I looked him up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it on my phone real quick. I think I looked him up like recently.
So wasn't there something
Avi
like...
Arad, I think is not as attached to, or like he's not as attached to Far From Home, and like apparently he's the reason why a lot of stuff people don't like from the MCU Spider-Man. This is me. I'm saying I like the MCU Spider-Man, but there are things that like I would change. Like I can agree to Steven on the point that like he feels like Iron Man's like sidekick in a lot of ways. But I still really like this adaptation of Spider-Man, okay? Because he feels the truest to the comics. So like there's that. But apparently a lot of the issues people had with this one, with the Amazing Spider-Man duology and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 are kind of tied back to him. And he's not really involved in this latest one.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine, I think. I mean, if it makes more people happy, why not?
So hopefully this one is the best live-action Spider-Man movie ever made.
And if not, we know it's just the audience's fault, and not the person behind the scenes. There's a lot of reasons why. But last three things technically. I'm gonna rapid fire these. Oscars are coming out soon. I believe they're coming up this week. So if you're into seeing who's gonna win what in the pandemic 2020 year, check it out. There's more movies than you thought. Like if you remember back in the beginning of March when we were like, the movies are going to be best or film Dora the Explorer. Like, thankfully it's not that. There's a lot of movies out there that, like, for instance, Judas and the Black Messiah is up for best film. So,
as it should be.
Yeah. And Nomadland is there as well. We haven't seen that one yet, but it's up there. Soul is the Disney movie that's up for best animation right now. One that's awesome. There's that. Another rapid fire news here. So you know of this amazing movie that we watched. Well, I don't think we watched it on the channel, but no, we did. I don't remember. Mad Max Fury Road. You know that's super amazing, cool movie,
yeah,
right?
We reviewed that.
Yeah, there's a sequel coming out called Furiosa.
Yes,
based around Furiosa, and it's going to be played by Anya Taylor-Joy. So, up in the air on her as the casting, but whatever. But the reason why I've brought it up is because, and the reason why I remembered the word is because Furiosa is set to become Australia's biggest film shoot ever after receiving its financial incentives. So this is going to be the biggest movie ever made in the country. And it says here, this is great news for Furiosa. This is great news for the NSW. Furiosa is expected to support more than 850 local jobs and bring around 350 million to the economy. So they were totally for giving them a $175 million fund and rebate. Give them money to make their movie.
Nice.
Yeah. That's happening. So keep an eye out for that whenever that's made and comes out. I'm interested because it's Mad Max. That's awesome. Just a sequel to one of the most
prequel.
Prequel to one of the most awesome characters, who a lot of people would call a feminist icon. So depends on who you talk to. Yeah. And the last bit of news, rapid fire, is there was a trailer released for Netflix's Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder. And the reason I bring this up, zombie movie, Zack Snyder movie, but mainly the VFX. This is an article from IndieWire, and I think this is funny. They used a roar from Carol Baskin's tiger, recreate a zombie roar for a zombie tiger in this film.
I got nothing on that. As someone who skipped the Tiger King.
I skipped it too. I never watched it, but the name is enough to grab attention.
True.
Yeah, there's literally, apparently I'm learning about this. The official trailer, Zack Snyder's Army of the Darkness, or Army of the Dead, is showing a zombie tiger plowing through Las Vegas. Which sounds really cool to me.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah! I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds dumb, but it sounds so cool.
I mean, it's gonna be dumb. But again, it is right up your damn alley.
I love zombies, man.
I know. And
Wait
we
until
will.
I make
I
my
know
first
we're gonna
zombie
end up watching this.
movie.
So
There's tons of zombie films we could watch. Day of the Dead.
I know. But we're gonna end up watching this. Because I know how things go.
If it's just ridiculous enough, we can do what was that? Oh, they have to find here we go. We can always watch. Remember watching this movie and thinking it was so dumb. Planet Terror. I mean, it's part of a two-part movie. It's what you're actually looking up is called Grindhouse, but Planet Terror, a zombie movie about a woman who replaces her leg with a machine gun. And the second movie was made by Quentin Tarantino, called Death Proof. He doesn't count it as one of his many films. His like 8 films and then he'll quit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't count that as one, but he still made it. It counts. Yeah. So we'll watch. Yeah, if it's just ridiculous enough, maybe we'll watch that. If it's not, we'll pick something better. We'll pick something much better.
All right.
Yeah, that's all the news I've got.
All right. Next week.
Next week. So next week, I'm hopefully swooping things back in a direction that you enjoy. But that was my thought. I was like, I'll watch movies that I enjoyed growing up, but maybe Dev enjoyed them too. Just maybe. But based on your reaction when I told them, I guess he didn't.
I mean, and we'll see how this goes. I haven't seen these in years.
Yeah,
so.
It's been a while. I remember we're doing Fifth Element. What was the other movie?
We're doing Galaxy Quest and the Fifth
Quest.
Element. You know, you complain that I always say the movies, but you never know what the next week's movies are.
I wasn't prepared at this moment. I'm sorry. I was prepared last week. For this week.
All right.
At least I asked this time. You can't be mad at me for asking. I can be mad at you for asserting. This is my show. Taking my job. But since I asked you to do my job for me,
Get the
it's okay.
out of here.
What show do you think this is?
One where I flip you off.
That's every show.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're watching Galaxy Quest and The Fifth Element. I'm excited. Galaxy
Should be
Quest,
interesting.
the best Star Trek movie ever made.
It's that one. Okay.
Yeah. And
For some reason, you know what? My brain was thinking Galaxy Quest and thinking, for some reason, Hitchhikers.
Oh. No, I wouldn't make us watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I hated that movie. I didn't hate it. I barely paid attention to it because I was bored by it. I'll probably have to rewatch
Looks
it.
better.
Yeah. No, we're doing Galaxy Quest and then
all right. You know what? That's better. Okay. My brain was like...
We almost hit another one of those roadblocks where Dev was like, no, I already know I hate the rest of this.
I didn't hate it. I just genuinely watched it once and haven't remembered it since.
I remember a big beam of light. Or was that every Marvel movie?
Okay, go fuck yourself. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're done.
That's not even every Marvel movie.
It's even in the TV
Mostly
shows
DC.
now.
There wasn't a blue beam in any of the TV shows.
There's a big red beam.
Because it was a fucking... What big red beam? Like, it wasn't like a sky beam.
Yeah, it was. When, towards the end, when she's reducing the hex, she launches her giant sky beam into the air.
It wasn't a sky beam.
Totally a sky beam.
It hits the dome.
Which
Sky
is
beam just go
insane.
up. Oh my god.
Technicalities, fine. All right, we're done here, everybody. Before I make Dev pissed. Thanks for commenting, subscribing, reviewing, whatever. Dings, dongs. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Blah, ding dong.
Yeah. Ding, dang. Blah, bing, bang. Blah, blah, ding, dong. Whatever. I lost it. Yeah, we're done.
Bye.